All right, hello class and welcome to the second section of the series of our classes, CSE 321 Advanced Level Programming Language C++. Today we are going to talk on basic structures and syntax of C++ programming language. Okay, what are the rules governing how you use C++ programming language and other things related to that. Okay. Each of the C++ complete source code has what we call the main function or function main. What it does is first load it into the memory, transferred to the CPU for execution. After the execution, the main function returns the integer 0 for as long as the program successfully run, no any compile error, it will return 0. Okay. Let's look at the program structure, especially the grammar and syntax. Each programming language has its own unique grammar and syntax. Syntax is the C++ typography and punctuation marks. Here are the syntax that apply to C++ programming language. The basic building block of C++ is viewed as the function, a procedure that produces a result. Every C++ program contains a set of executable instructions that must have a function. So in essence, every set of C++ program contains a set of executable instructions that must have a function. One of these functions is special and is named main. Simple programs can be written just within a main function, that's all. But complex programs may have more functions in addition to the main function. We'll be seeing that as we proceed with the class, okay? This is the format, the general form, general syntax of the main function. Normally you have the int main, just something like this. You look at it here. This is the int main. This must be typed. You have no option, int main. Then of course this one is for the begin. Yes, this sign, the curly bracket is for begin. Then this dot dot we are referring to, this dot dot that you see, we are referring to the program structure here. Then of course return 0 when here the dot dot is referring to whatsoever you type as your program code, then return 0 when it's successfully run. Then finally this is the end. Hope you get it right. Okay. In addition to that, what does int stand for? Int indicate that an integer will be returned on compilation. That's why the line set integer to 0, signaling the success of the execution. You see return 0, and here at the beginning you see int main, and of course 0 is an integer. I hope you get the point. Okay. Then the parenthesis after main enclose the argument of the main function. No argument in this case. It is empty. That's what we mean by no argument in this case. As you proceed, you will see how we work with argument and other parameters. Okay. Apart from that, the curly bracket is signifying the beginning, and the other curly bracket, the closing one, is the end. Okay. And end of the closing various instruction or lines of code. The dot stand for additional lines of code, just as I mentioned. The semicolon is a delimiter marking the end of the preceding command, return 0 after the main program that returns nothing. Okay, just like in this case. I hope you get it right. The end of statement, like indicated by semicolon, is compulsory when you write in C++. You should keep it at the back of your mind that at the end of any statement, there must be a semicolon, and the statement normally fall within this begin and end. That's the curly bracket, open curly bracket, and the close curly bracket. That's where normally we have the statement. So most of the statements that we are having there, they must have the semicolon. Just like in this example, you look at it here. Just look at this example, a equal to 5. Can you see that? Semicolon. Semicolon here is there. Okay. Then next one, you look at multiple commands in a single line. Two or more statements in the same line separated with semicolon. For example, a equal to 5, semicolon, b equal to 10, semicolon. You can have two or more statements separated with semicolons, not comma, semicolons. You should take note, okay? Then white spaces and empty blank spaces separate two words compiler ignore more than one empty space between two words. For example, 92 space 093, not 92093. Okay, just like the way we made mention when we are talking of variable, should take note of that as well. Okay, now let's say statement and command blocks that we just mentioned very brief. Now you look at it. Block of statements or commands defining procedure are enclosed by curly bracket. Okay. Then of course the ending line. In most cases you use the NDL manipulator to end line. So there are so many other ways of ending line as we'll be seeing. Okay. Then the next thing is the inline comments. Whenever you want to comment within the line, just as it is inline comment, you use the double slash, the double forward slash. Okay. For example, here look at it. A equal to 10.0, then semicolon, double forward slash. You see, this is initialization. Can you see that? This is initialization. Then you look at this one, the text. You look at it, the text. This is the line of the code. Okay, this one too is an inline comment. Why is it called inline comment? Because the comment is appearing just in a single line. Then finally, all the text enclosed between a slash asterisk like this, backward forward slash asterisk, and the converse asterisk pair, asterisk forward slash, just like in this one. Look at the way the main program is represented. All things that happen in between is considered as a comment, and this one cannot necessarily be in a line. It can be in a single line, can be in multiple lines. Okay. Yeah, some refer to this one as multiple lines comment. Okay. Then the next thing, just a simple demo to demonstrate the multi-line comment. We look at it. Program, late, auto, just in case, purpose, produce an excuse for being late. All this one is enclosed within a multi-line comment. Can you see that? Now, let's look at the simple basic C++ basic structure in action and look at the explanation of the basic C++ code. Let's look at the first line. C++ is a comment. C++ programming language structure. Ideally, the structure is supposed to be in the same line because we are using an inline comment. You understand? The double forward slash indicate comment just to explain the program for documentation. This one is because of the typing or things like that. That's why it's appear like it. But ideally, it's supposed to be in a single line. You see that? Now, the second line we have the include IO stream. Then we have our int main, then begin, then the building blocks, then of course the end. So the hash include IO stream are directives that read and interpreted by the preprocessor. The include IO stream instruct the preprocessor to include standard C++ code, the IO stream, the input-output stream, to manipulate input and output operation, writing the output onto the computer screen. Basically, the input we are referring to here is the keyboard input instruction that you instruct the computer through the keyboard, and the output we are talking about is the screen output, the output you see from the screen of the computer. Okay, then a blank line have no effect on the program. If you look at line 3, you have a blank line. Then the int main on line 4 initiate the declaration of a function. The executions begin with the main function regardless of where the function is located, optionally including parameters as we mentioned earlier. Okay, the open brace, the curly bracket, and the closing brace, that's the other curly brackets, at the beginning of the main function. Then of course the building block contains the lines of code that instruct the computer. Then line 6 is the statement ends with semicolon and adjudged to be one of the common syntax error in C++. Okay, this semicolon normally is major problem, more especially for beginners. So you should take note of that. The numbers beside each of the line codes is referred to the number line. Hope you get it right. Okay, let's move to the next slide. The next slide is just a simple program to print hello world to the computer screen. You look at it, the first line is just a comment. Yes, my first program in C++. And the second line include IO stream. Line 3 is empty. Line 4 is our int main. Then line 5 is our begin the curly bracket. Then line 6 is HTD double full colon C out hello world. Then the end of line semicolon. And of course line 7 is the closing Of course, we need to have our return 0 anyway. It's not written here. So now you look at it. Explanation of the code. Look at the explanation of the code now. STD out identifies the standard character output device, computer screen, this. Look at it. The double less than indicates that what follows is inserted into STD count. That's all. With this, come to the end of today's class. Thank you for listening.